Stratagem 3. Kill with a borrowed knife. Ever felt like you're fighting a battle all on your own, pushing against a problem with all your might, and getting nowhere? Well, what if I told you there's a smarter way to fight? This is the core of an ancient strategy called kill with a borrowed knife. Now, before you get worried, we're not talking about actual violence. This is a powerful metaphor for achieving your goals by using the strength of others, rather than just your own. Imagine you're dealing with a difficult co-worker who constantly oversteps boundaries. Your first instinct might be to confront them directly, leading to heated arguments, emotional drain, and maybe even making the situation worse. You're trying to win a fight with your bare hands. But what if you borrowed a knife? In the modern workplace, this knife could be company policy, HR procedures, or even your manager's authority. Instead of saying, "I'm tired of you doing this," you can say, "According to the company handbook, this procedure should be handled this way." You're not making it a personal conflict between you and them. You're simply pointing to the existing rules. You're letting the system do the heavy lifting. The knife is the established structure, and you're just guiding its hand. This is the beauty of the strategy. It depersonalizes the conflict. It's not you versus them, it's them versus the system. This is incredibly useful because it protects you from direct retaliation. It is much harder for someone to argue against the official company policy than it is to argue against your personal feelings. When you borrow the knife, you're not the one enforcing the rules. You're just reminding everyone that the rules exist. We see this principle everywhere. When you report a harmful comment on social media, you're not personally arguing with the user. You're borrowing the platform's community guidelines and its moderation team to handle the problem. You're using their knife. When a lawyer cites a legal precedent in court, they're not just sharing their opinion. They're borrowing the weight and authority of the entire legal system. Even in our daily lives, this can be a powerful tool. Let's say you're in a shared apartment and a roommate consistently leaves a mess. Repeated personal requests might lead to resentment. But referring to the roommate agreements you all signed, that's borrowing the knife of your shared commitment. You're invoking a rule or all agreed to, which makes the conversation less about your personal frustration and more about a collective responsibility. One of the key advantages of this approach is that it can actually prevent escalation, especially if you do it transparently. Instead of letting resentment build up until you explode, you calmly and neutrally invoke the established process. It's a way of saying, "These are the boundaries we've all agreed to operate within." It frames the issue as a matter of procedure, not a personal attack. This clarity can stop a small disagreement from spiraling into a major feud. However, like any powerful tool, this strategy comes with a significant risk. There's a very fine line between using the system for justice and weaponizing it for personal gain. This is where kill with a borrowed knife can get a bad reputation. It can be seen as tattling, snitching, or manipulative. If your goal is to maliciously get someone in trouble, you're not seeking a fair outcome. You're just looking for a weapon. The ethics of this strategy hinge entirely on your intention. Are you borrowing the knife to protect yourself, to uphold a fair standard, or to ensure justice is served? Or are you borrowing it to settle a personal score, to gain an unfair advantage, or simply to cause harm? One is about maintaining order, the other is about revenge. Think about the classic workplace scenario of someone who runs to HR for every minor inconvenience. They're not trying to solve problems, they're weaponizing the system to offload their responsibility and punish others. This erodes trust and creates a toxic environment where everyone is afraid of being reported. This isn't strategy, it's sabotage. So, this brings us to a crucial question we all have to ask ourselves. When is it right to escalate and borrow the knife of authority? And when should we try to handle things one-on-one? There's no easy answer. Sometimes, a direct, honest conversation can resolve an issue more effectively and build a stronger relationship. It shows respect and a willingness to work together. This is often the more mature path, especially for minor issues. But what if the other person is unreasonable? What if there's a power imbalance? What if you've already tried talking to them and nothing has changed? In those cases, direct confrontation might not only be ineffective, but could also put you at risk. This is when borrowing a knife becomes not just a strategy, but a necessity for self-preservation. It's about recognizing when your own strength isn't enough and you need to rely on a larger, more powerful structure for support. This dilemma is amplified in our digital world. Have we made it too easy to borrow knives online? Think about so-called cancel culture. With a few clicks, we can report, flag, and rally a digital mob against someone. On one hand, this gives a voice to the powerless and allows people to hold public figures and institutions accountable. It's a way of borrowing the collective knife of public opinion. But on the other hand, it can lead to disproportionate consequences, where a single mistake or a misunderstood comment results in a massive public shaming, often without a chance for dialogue or redemption. We're borrowing a knife that is incredibly sharp and often imprecise. The line between accountability and a witch hunt can become dangerously blurred. We have to be incredibly careful with the power we wield. So, is it more mature to use formal channels or to confront someone directly? I believe true maturity lies in knowing which approach to use and when. It's about having the wisdom to assess the situation. Do you need a scalpel or a sledgehammer? Is a quiet conversation enough? Or do you need the backing of a formal system? The mature person doesn't default to one or the other. They don't always rush to HR, nor do they always insist on handling everything themselves. They understand the tools at their disposal. They have the courage for direct confrontation when it's appropriate, and the wisdom to use the system when it's necessary. The strategy of kill with a borrowed knife isn't about being sneaky or avoiding conflict. It's about being strategic. It's about understanding power dynamics and using existing structures to your advantage. It's about protecting your own energy and choosing your battles wisely. You don't have to be the strongest person in the room if you know how to leverage the strength that's already there. But always check your motives. Are you using this strategy to build a more just and orderly world, or are you just trying to get your way? The knife is a tool. It can be used to carve a path to a better outcome, or it can be used to cause harm. The choice and the responsibility is yours. Thanks so much for watching. If this got you thinking, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. When have you successfully borrowed a knife? And when has it backfired? Don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into strategy and human nature. See you next time.